Back when Sonic Frontiers first launched in November 2022, everyone freaked out. A well-written story filled with heart that takes itself seriously. A new gameplay formula for Sonic that would be the foundation of future Sonic games in the franchise. While still having its rough edges, Sonic Frontiers was one of the most beloved games for a very long time. But then, something happened. Thousands of people now saying it's overrated, mid, and it seems as if a large majority of the fanbase just threw out this game out of the window. But the question is, why? What is the reason for this cycle of hatred that Sonic Frontiers has been getting recently? Well, that's exactly what we're going to discuss today. So, grab yourself some snacks, get something to drink, and let's go! So many people just think that Frontiers was never a good game to begin with and that the majority of people just overhyped it from the start. But there's actually a much larger psychological reason for the recent turnarounds for this game.
Recency bias.
As we all know, Sonic Frontiers was the bridge between the meta era and the current era of the franchise. That means that this game was a first step in the right direction. Oh gosh, I have heard that 1,000 times in Sonic Frontiers. Note that this game was also made on a very tight budget too. And because of that, this game still had some very noticeable issues around the edges. The core of every aspect was brilliant, it just needed more refinement. The story is great, but the final act was Russian writing. The gameplay formula is excellent, but it lacks polish. You get the point. Basically, everything just could have been more polished. Personally, I think the game's great, though I do understand why people don't come back to it much. It's because of the newer games. Let me give an example. Marvel's Spider-Man 2, gameplay-wise, improved mostly everything there was to improve. The quality gap between the sequel and the first one is so high to the point where it's actually hard to go back to the first one. Aside from the story, people just don't have a big reason to go back to the first one anymore. Seriously, the traversal alone is 10 times better. I mean, just think about it. Why would I play the first game if the second game just does it way better and it's more fun? And that is the exact same thing that happened to Sonic Frontiers. Matt Has No Cuts, my favorite Sonic tuber by the way, actually predicted that in one of his videos.
Listen, I really do enjoy Sonic Frontiers. However, with that said, I do notice that this game is very unpolished and has quite a few issues. So I think it's entirely possible that Sonic Frontiers might face the same fate as Sonic Colors very soon. The reason why I say that is because I feel like this game hasn't even scratched the surface with the open zone gameplay. And if the next Sonic game improves significantly upon the open zone gameplay to the point where the quality of Sonic Frontiers has long since passed, I think people will begin to stop liking the game. Now, of course, it all depends on if the next game is good or widely perceived as better. If the next game sucks, then Sonic Frontiers will probably remain as one of the most beloved 3D Sonic games. If it's good, or maybe even better, I think Sonic fans will throw this game straight to the wolves to get torn apart.
And unfortunately, that is exactly one-to-one what actually happened. The newer games now are better because of Frontiers' success. Sonic Team is back now more than ever with a higher budget, and all of that because of Frontiers. So in a way, Frontiers was kind of a Kickstarter. But when did this hate actually start? Well, I believe it started with one of the most recent Sonic games, Shadow Generations. Why do I think that? Because this is the first game after Frontiers that does it way better. Practically everything about this game is inspired by Frontiers, but thanks to the new budget, there's no drawback. Seriously, there's nothing holding this game back. Gameplay is far more polished, cutscenes are probably the best looking in the franchise, etc. And because of the newer games that have far better quality, people unfortunately don't really have a reason to appreciate the quality of Frontiers the same anymore. Back in 2022, people were celebrating because the improvement from the last Sonic game to this game was far better. But now because of the newer games, Frontiers seems not that special anymore. Personally, I love this game. Yes, compared to the games now, it still has a lot more issues, but that doesn't stop me from loving this game to death. Never in my life have I played a Sonic game like this before. I enjoyed it then, and so I do now. This game, no matter how better the games have become, will always have a special place in my heart. What do you think? Do you agree, disagree, or maybe you just don't like Sonic at all? I mean, everything's possible. Let me know. Like, comment, and subscribe for a free copy of Sonic Frontiers 2. Yes, that is a psychological trick I just learned from YouTube, so yeah, you better do that because otherwise you'll not get the copy. Yeah, I'll just stop yapping, okay? Have a great day, a great week, and a great month, and we'll see yourselves the next time. Peace.